I'm here to talk to you about the concept of service virtualization. In today's world, we've introduced new AI agents that touch LLMs or large language models. And every time that you touch one of those, you're utilizing tokens. And this has further exacerbated a problem that service virtualization has solved for years, but a lot of people haven't thought about how to solve this using service virtualization in an AI context. So first, let's look at this diagram about this application so we can kind of understand what's going on here. This is a simple application architecture diagram. As you can see here, we've got it listed that it has an iOS native front end, an Android native front end, a mobile web front end, and a web front end. This is an e-commerce application, and so the users come into the e-commerce application stack, and they, for product search, they use Elasticsearch. They also connect to a SQL Server database internally. And then, as I mentioned, there's an AI agent that's been put into this e-commerce application recently. This particular one's using Gemini as an LLM agent. And for financials, it utilizes Oracle E-Business Suite. And then during checkout, there's three different ways that you can purchase an item. You can use a purchase order. So in our B2B or business-to-business customers, they can be pre-approved to use purchase orders to make their purchases, and then they get invoiced later. And that connects into Salesforce. And then they also, from a B2C or business to consumer perspective, they can connect and pay with a credit card, and that uses a third-party credit card authorization system. Or for the B2C customers, they also have the option of using our own personal in-store credit card with an instant credit offering where they can apply for a credit card and use that to make a purchase. And that uses a FICO third-party credit scoring system. Now, the challenge that we have with this is all fine and dandy in production. But when it comes into your lower environments, your pre-production environments where you need to do testing, if you're doing effective testing, you have to set all of this up in those lower environments. And here's where the challenge is. Each one of these has a cost per transaction. In fact, some of these applications don't allow you to do testing in their third-party application at all, or the testing environment doesn't mimic production, or it's a shared environment. There's lots of challenges that you have when you're dealing with third parties. So what would you do, especially if you want to do performance testing and load testing on these environments where you have these cost of transactions? Now remember, sometimes these things aren't available. Like Salesforce, maybe you don't have a Salesforce non-production environment. Or the third-party credit card system doesn't allow you to do testing in their environment. Or the same thing on the FICO system. Or the LLM agent, you haven't even set it up in that lower environment because it's brand new. Or Oracle E-Business Suite isn't available, or Elasticsearch isn't available because the developers are working on something and there's a new version that they're working on in the lower environment, so it's just not available right now. Service virtualization, the concept of service virtualization, allows you to start creating what we used to call something like a stub. The difference between a mock service and a stub is usually a stub just says, hey, yes, right? It just mirrors back the question. Whereas a mock service can be set up to behave the same way the real service does. The real advantage of it as well, though, is that service, that mock service, can also be set up to do negative testing. So, for example, maybe you want to have, and you need to test that the purchase order doesn't work, right? It doesn't work because this particular user isn't authorized from that company in my B2B test. Well, how would I do that? I'd have to have that data set up. Well, I may not have that data set up. So I could put service virtualization here and take the entire checkout process and virtualize that. Have a mock service there so that the entire purchase checkout process will be virtualized, and I can do all my negative testing, and I don't have to worry about some items being not available. Or I could potentially put it here because all I really need to virtualize is Salesforce. Or I could put it here because all I need to virtualize is that credit card authorization, or here, because I need to virtualize a FICO, or more importantly, and in today's world, the LLM agent, virtualizing that. We had a customer that we were working with that over 6 months, by virtualizing their LLM agent, they saved over $1 million in token utilization. Think about that in 6 months. Or I want to virtualize here, or I want to virtualize here. Or maybe I want to virtualize all these places because they're not available in my lower environment or in my development environment. So think about what that means. Now, in the AI context, one of the challenges that we faced when we first started doing this is that those AI statements are very large. The payload is very large. So we actually had to make a modification to our solution, BlazeMeter, in order to handle that. And we've handled that and tested that, and it works in production now. So just remember, the use cases that we're talking about here is, one, I have these third-party charges that I don't want to have to pay for, right, in my lower environment, especially if I'm doing load and performance testing. I can set up negative testing, right? So I can set up, for example, on the credit scoring. Maybe I want to have somebody come in and make sure that a decline happens if the person has a credit score below 400, right? Which would be an awful credit score. Or I want to do isolation testing, right? My developer's working, as a developer, I'm working on this little area, and I just want to test that. I don't care what else is going on. I just have to test my little area to make sure it's working. So I'm going to isolate it. And then the speed of development. In today's world, with AI empowering your developers, it becomes a real challenge to keep up with that from a testing perspective. So you might have, this version is down because it's on the next version. This one's actually 2 versions ahead in my lower environment. This one, we haven't even gotten working in the lower environment. And once again, I don't want to pay cost per transaction for my LLM agent, right? So I can handle that speed. I've always said, if you want to truly shift left and shift your testing as early as possible, you have to have a service virtualization solution in place. And the unavailable services, and it can also help with collisions. You have 2 developers working on the same area, right? Maybe you have 2 developers that are working inside of here, and they're both interfacing with that LLM agent. Well, I can isolate them and avoid that collision. So remember, in today's world, there are really 3 problems that traditional testing can't solve. And that's that token costs compounding. Your coverage may be capped in your lower environment. You have rate limits and availability and gaps. And you have repeatability challenges. Because of the non-deterministic nature of AI, it can really complicate your regression tests because you're getting a different response every single time. And doing service virtualization, especially in today's AI world, allows you to get around that. Thanks for taking the time today. And if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to me or anybody from Perforce, and we'll be happy to have a conversation with you. Have a great rest of your day.